Hi. This is going to be a short unit with a very high-level overview of AlphaStar. AlphaStar is a program that plays StarCraft that came out about 2 years ago from DeepMind. Now, StarCraft is very different from chess or Go. It's a very complicated environment with hundreds of units being controlled by a single agent. So let's just go over that complexity a little bit. So we have agents playing each other. Each agent is controlling many units in a complicated environment. Each action is a kind of procedure call with arguments. You can think of the action as a string. And so if you have a stochastic policy over actions, it's going to have to generate a string. And this can be done auto-regressively. You generate one symbol in the string at a time. So it's like a language model. So you have 10 to the 26 possible actions, very large action space. Also, the strength of agents is non-transitive. So agent A can beat B, B can beat C, but then C beats A. So it's not like an agent has an ELO score. Agents, there's this binary relationship of A beats B. It's some kind of dominance graph. And the game is imperfect information. You get to see some of the state, but not all of the state. So you have observations. Now I'm going to show a video at the end of this, and you'll see how many people were involved in the development of this program. So the program has lots of parts, lots of algorithms built within it. And the paper is not long enough to describe all of these parts in fully replicable detail. But I'll just go through a list of all of the things to give you a feel of how large this program is and how many people built parts of this program. So it has a policy gradient algorithm. That's like AlphaStar. It has autoregressive policies. That's what I just described, where an action is being generated one symbol at a time, autoregressively like a language model. It does self-attention over the observation history. So that's like a transformer. LSTMs are involved, pointer networks, scatter connections, replay buffer, asynchronous advantage actor critic algorithms, TD lambda. TD lambda is just gradients on value function Bellman errors, clipped importance sampling, something called vtrace, a new undefined method they call upgo that moves policies toward trajectories with better than average reward, a value function that can see opponents' observations. It's only used at training, something called a Z statistic that states a high level strategy. They use supervised learning, meaning that they've got big databases of human games that they do some kind of imitation learning from. They also have a league of players. So because of this non-transitive property where players don't have strengths, they just have other players that they can beat, they use a league such that each player has to play all of the members of the league. And I'll describe that in the next slide. So the league has three classes of agents that I'm going to call M, E, and L. So the idea is that M, the main agents, and L, the league players, play everybody. But E, the E players, the exploiters, play only M. So the E players don't care whether or not they can beat L. They're specializing on defeating M. And that makes life harder for M because there are players that are specializing in M. So then when you want to play a game with a person, presumably you draw the game from M. Now, this is very different from AlphaZero. With AlphaZero, I can write AlphaZero, the algorithm, in a page of equations. And the fact that this one page of equations produces this amazing performance is strong evidence that this is a real idea that you can write in a page that's important. That's not true of AlphaStar. So this is kind of a joke, but when I was a kid, you know, these cartoons went around. The artist was in the 1940s. I wasn't a kid back in the 40s, but Rube Goldberg would draw these pictures of very complicated machines to do things that could be done much simpler, much more simply. So I like to call something with a lot of moving parts a Rube Goldberg contraption, but it's a joke. This is an impressive program. So what I'm going to do now is try to play a video. So I'm going to stop share and go to
StarCraft is the next grand challenge. For decades, progress in AI has been measured by how well we've succeeded in playing the games that humans play. We've already created systems that can learn to master chess and Go, and many people view StarCraft as the next grand challenge for the AI community. A couple of months ago, we made an explicit choice to try and scale up and speed up the StarCraft project. The way we went about that was to have different versions of the agent compete against each other on something we call the AlphaStar League. This one learning to beat that one, this one learning to beat that one, and that leads them to improve rapidly over time and discover new strategies.
The way it played, you could see it was getting. StarCraft has imperfect information and is played in real time. It also requires long-term planning and the ability to choose what action to take from millions and millions of possibilities.
Look at that, he looks nervous.
We were able to beat Danny, the best DeepMind StarCraft 2 player. That definitely exceeded expectations.
The next step is we're going to book in a pro to play. I think there's nothing better than, you know, a big external test like that to focus the mind.
If they can already beat me, that would be incredible.
I really thought TLO would, beat us.
No matter what happens, just well done. It's been amazing progress, really amazing. Our goal is not just to defeat these players. Our goal is to do it in the right way.
How are you feeling?
Good. I'm a little nervous because
Unlike a human player, AlphaStar can see the whole map at once. But we spoke with TLO and created as level a playing field as is currently possible.
In particular, AlphaStar can't react quicker than a human player can, nor can it execute more actions, clicks per minute, than a human player.
All right, 2 seconds, guys.
I haven't really seen a pro play StarCraft up close. The 800 clicks per minute. I don't understand how anyone can even click 800 times, let alone doing 800 useful clicks.
After the first match, I knew now was on, that I actually have to work really hard to beat this thing. I didn't want to lose.
Incredibly, the system held up.
I was surprised how strong the agent was. I actually lost every single of the 5 matches.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll get to have a rematch where I get to play my strongest race. Well, then I think I would beat it.
TLO is an amazing player, but he plays Zerg and our Asians play Protoss for now.
With TLO, there was still that but at the end of it, but
yeah,
he's a Zerg player. And so now we've addressed that but.
I guess they need a Protoss specialist, and that's why I'm here. I'm hoping for a 5-0, not to lose any games, but I think the realistic goal would be 4-1 in my favor.
I think he looks more confident than TLO. TLO was quite nervous before. The room was much more tense this time. Really didn't know what to expect.
He's been playing StarCraft pretty much since he's 5.
I wasn't expecting the AI to be that good. Everything that he did was proper. It was calculated and it was done well. I thought I'm learning something. Yes! It's much better than I expected it to be. I would consider myself a good player, right? But I lost every single one of 5 games.
We're way ahead of what I thought we would do, given where we were 2 months ago. Just trying to digest it all, actually, but it's very, very cool. I think that progress has been unprecedented.
It's humbling knowing how many people are working on this project with StarCraft 2. Some of the top minds of the world.
These complexities are important to us because they're representative of something bigger. They're representative of the challenges that face the whole of AI, which haven't yet been solved.
I think everybody's just very excited to see what comes out of this, and hopefully that StarCraft is going to be a part of history when it comes to AI.
Okay, thanks everybody. That's the end of our section on AlphaZero and AlphaStar.